Hey guys, before we start the video, I have just confirmed 4 new legends that have not been revealed yet, but they were just revealed in one of my friend's streams, Carl Dude over at Twitch. Go check him out. But he has an early copy of the game, and he has confirmed that 4 new legends are indeed in the game, and they have been revealed. And before I start ranking the 15 legends that were revealed before this, I'm not going to rank these 4, but the 15 that were before this, I'm going to reveal those to you right now. The first one is Vida Blue, and the card that I saw, I don't have the art of it right here, but the card that I saw was a 99 overall, which is amazing. So Vida Blue, definitely in the game. We already thought that that might be the case, but Vida Blue in the game. The next guy that was revealed was Steve Harvey. Wait, no, never mind. Steve Garvey. Yes, Steve Garvey is going to be in the game, so very, very cool. The third guy who was revealed in Carl Dude's stream is Jim Rice. Super awesome legend. I love all these old school guys that they're coming up with, but he is nowhere close, in my opinion, to how pumped I am for this last guy. The last guy is Lou Brock. How freaking lit is that? Lou Brock, brand new legend in the game. Gonna be the fastest player in the game, probably. Gonna be close between him and Billy Hamilton. He's gonna be a beast. Love seeing Lou Brock in the game, and he's got some pop too. He had a 21 home run season, I think, so he's going to be a great card. Anyways, those are the 4 legends that were revealed today, and now let's get into the ranking of the 15 that we knew about before. Okay, the first guy that we're going to talk about is Buddy Bell, coming in at number 15. Buddy Bell is not a very exciting card. A lot of people's reaction whenever they heard Buddy Bell was, who the hell is Buddy Bell? But he was actually a pretty decent player, and since they're doing this year by year now, he could actually have a pretty useful card if they release his 1980 All-Star version. In 1980, he hit 329, 379, 498 for an OPS plus of 143. That's very, very good. He hit 17 home runs, and he won a Gold Glove. So that's a pretty decent player. The only reason that I put him at the bottom, ahead or behind some other guys who might play a little bit worse, is just simply because he doesn't have the name recognition of a lot of these other guys, and he plays third in the outfield, which is a little deeper than a lot of the other positions that we'll talk about. So that's why I don't feel like he'll be super useful in the game, and he doesn't have the name recognition, which means he's going to come in at the bottom. Coming in at number 14 is Ken Griffey Jr., Sr., and I'm sorry to say that this card is not exciting at all. It's cool because, you know, it's the dad of Ken Griffey, and they got both of them in there together and all that, you know, yada, yada, yada. But this card is just not going to be that great. Now, he did have 1 year. He had he actually had 2 years. He had 1976 and 1977, where he was pretty darn good. That year he hit, or 1976, he hit 336, 401, 450, had an OPS plus of 140, so very, very good. He hit 6 home runs, which isn't a ton, but he had 28 doubles, 9 triples, and he had 34 stolen bases with he was only caught 11 times. So he's going to have pretty good speed, he's going to have pretty good pop. He didn't strike out a ton, so he's going to have pretty high vision. He only had 65 strikeouts. So if they release a 1976 version, he could find himself being fairly useful, if not great. So he comes in at number 14. ahead of Buddy Bell just simply for the name recognition alone. Next up is Luis Aparicio, and I think that this guy might end up being at the bottom once the game is released, just because he cannot hit. He can't hit at all. He only had an OPS plus over 100 one time in his career, and it was whenever he was 36 years old and he couldn't steal bases anymore. So he was a below average hitter his entire career. What he could do is he had a really slick glove and he could run the bases. So the version that we've seen of him already, the one you're seeing now, is probably going to be the best version of him, because that year he had 56 steals. He was only caught 13 times. He won a Gold Glove. He wasn't a bad player, but I mean he had an OPS of 647. I mean that's not good. At number 12, we have Harold Reynolds, one of the announcers that they got through that process, I guess. And what version did they? Is that Harold Reynolds? That's a 1988 version, I think. That's what I'm seeing. I would actually rather see a 1987 version of Harold Reynolds, because in 1988, he stole 35 bags and was caught 29 times, which is why his stealing is so low. But in 1987, he hit about the same. Well, he hit a little bit worse, but he had 60 stolen bases with only 20. He was only caught 20 times. So that's pretty decent. That's, 75%? So that's really good. Okay, and the next guy that we're going to talk about is Eric Karros. Eric Karros is another guy like Harold Reynolds who was brought in because he is commentator for the game, and I am not that stoked on this card. A lot of people are. A lot of people see his hitting stats and they're like, oh my gosh, he's so good, or I don't know if they're like that, but they see it and they like it. They like what they see. They like what they see. They see a balanced hitter who succeeds at different things from different handedness pitchers, right? But the reason I'm not pumped on this card like at all is because he's a first baseman, guys. First base is so deep in this game. I mean, there are literally probably 20 first basemen that are going to end up being better than this guy. We're going to talk about 2 of them in this video. And the next guy that we're going to talk about is the 2004 Johnny Damon. A lot of people are kind of split on this card. His fielding is awful. His arm is even worse. His speed is just okay. But he crushes right-handed pitching, which, as we know, is very, very valuable in this game. I think it's going to be a little bit less valuable because of the lineup thing, but it still is very, very valuable. He has good vision, too. Discipline and clutch don't mean a ton, so that is kind of a wash for me. He struggles against lefties, though. But is this Johnny Damon's best year? No, this is not Johnny Damon's best year. Johnny Damon's best year was probably in 2000. In 2000, Johnny Damon hit 327, 382, 495, had an OPS plus of 118. He stole 46 bases. He still hit 16 home runs. In 2004, he hit 20. This year, he hit 16, which is fine. So he's going to have a little bit of pop, but he's going to have some crazy speed. His glove is probably going to be a good bit better because he was faster. He never had a strong arm, so his arm is still going to be a liability out there. Okay, and the next guy that we're going to talk about is Jason Giambi at number 9. Jason Giambi just doesn't excite me that much at all, simply because, and the next guy doesn't either, simply because he's a first baseman. First baseman in this game just, they have so many big hitting first basemen. It's kind of hard to differentiate between all of them, and it's just so watered down. Like, you can pretty much just have your pick of anybody. Just take anybody that's over a 93 rating, and and is probably a lefty or a switch hitter, and they're probably going to play pretty similar for you. And it's kind of the same thing with the next guy, except a little bit, like, I'm a little bit more pumped for this card, and I'll tell you why. First of all, this card right here is just better than Giambi. I mean, clearly, he has better defense. He hits lefties much better. He has higher contact versus righties. Not as much power, but might as well. That power difference is negligible. But the real reason that I like this card more than Giambi is I don't think that that's going to be Willie McCovey's best card. First of all, in 1959, Willie McCovey only had 219 plate appearances and 13 home runs. I mean, of course, 13 home runs in that amount of time, and he hit 354. That's amazing, but it's not a very strong sample size. But in 1969, the dude had 623 at-bats. He walked 121 times and only struck out 66 times. So really high discipline, really high vision. He had 45 home runs, so 99 power, probably against both sides. He hit 320, 453, 656 for a 1.108 OPS and a 209 OPS plus. He was more than 100% better than everyone else in the league. That is insane. All right, next up we have Bruce Sutter at number 7. But I'm thinking about it, and I may kind of switch him and McCovey around just in my head. I'm not gonna do it in the video, but I'm probably a little more excited for McCovey after talking about him. But Sutter has a chance to be really good too. He doesn't throw that hard. They said, I think, that he was going to be like 93, 94, like maximum, probably sitting more around like the 92 area in this year's game. But he has a wicked splitter, decent slider, and obviously, by the break and everything, he's going to be pretty easy to control. He has 30 stamina, and stamina is going to be like a bigger thing, and 30 stamina is actually really good for a closer. And his per nines are amazing. He has 93, 96 hit and K per nine, and he has that 81 walk per nine and 84 control. So he's going to be a lot easier to use that interface. So you're not going to be hanging many pitches, Okay, and coming in at number 6 on my list, I have Wade Boggs. And people may be like, Wade Boggs, that card's terrible. That's a bronze. That's a 74 overall. No. Okay, this is his impact veteran card with the Tampa Bay Rays. This was whenever he was at the tail end of his career. This isn't going to be the card that you want to use for Wade Boggs. He may be a mission starter, but this is not the goal with Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs is probably going to have multiple cards in this game. But the card that you really want to look out for is his 1987 card. Before 1987, Wade Boggs was just like this just insane contact hitter that would, hit 350 like it was going out of style. You know what I mean? But then in 1987, everybody was kind of making fun of him. Wade, you can't hit for power. You're a faggot. And Wade Boggs said, okay, fuck it. I'll sell out for power. But the thing is he didn't sell out for power. He totally was able to hit for power and still keep his average up. The dude hit 24 home runs, okay? That's pretty good. Got some solid power there. He walked 105 times and struck out 48 in 667 plate appearances, okay? That's pretty good. Pretty good numbers. He hit 363, 461, 588 for an OPS of 1049 and an OPS plus of 174. The dude hit 363 selling out for that much power. The next guy I want to talk about is Jim Palmer, and unfortunately I don't have the attributes for Jim Palmer pulled up right now, but I do remember that it was like pretty high hit per nine, like medium K per nine, and he threw not too hard, but he had good break. He's a good card. But out of the starting pitchers that they released, I think they've only released 2. But out of the ones they released, I put him below the other one in this case because the other one is just a monster. But because he's a starting pitcher, he just gets a lot higher on the list than everyone else just because he could find some usability. We'll have to see how this new engine plays out and what it really means, what everything means. But I think Jim Palmer is going to be a really solid addition to any team, especially early in the year. Coming in at number 4 is a guy that I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about this Jorge Posada card. This card is going to be pretty good. He reminds me a lot of the Victor Martinez from this past year, except, in my opinion, a better version of him because he hits lefties better and he's going to play defense that's just a smidgen better. Not a lot better at all, but just a smidgen better. And he's a switch hitter that hits both sides very well. Number 3 on my list is Warren Spahn, and no, it's not because he's a Brave. This Warren Spahn card is going to be filthy. They said in the stream that he was going to be able to run it up to 95, 96. He has 93 break. He has a curveball, a screwball, a slider, and a changeup. That screwball, dude, if it plays up and has a lot of bite to it, that pitch could be a game changer. And he's a lefty, and lefties in the past haven't been as valuable. I think this coming up year, lefties are going to be a lot more valuable. Maybe more valuable than righties. Coming in at number 2, and this is going to surprise a lot of people. I have the prime Ken Griffey Jr., the 99 overall. And it's kind of controversial to put the cover boy and a card that's just so damn good at number 2 on this list, but I have my reasoning. My reasoning is that, first of all, outfield is really, really deep. There's not going to be a outfield card that's as good as this Griffey. There's not. This is going to be the best outfield card in the game. Probably the best card in the game overall. But you'll see why I did this whenever I reveal my number 1. But this guy is going to be freaking amazing. He's going to mash righties. Really, 70-71 is all you need versus lefties. That's plenty good contact when you match it up with 96 power. That's going to be fantastic. He has 84 discipline, 97 clutch. You don't really care about that too much. But look at that defense, dude. 90 reaction, 95 fielding, 80 speed, 92 arm strength, 82 arm accuracy. This guy is going to be a monster in the field. And, justifiably so. I do think he was a bit overrated in the field when you look at advanced metrics. But even if you look at that, he was still an elite glove out there in center field. One of the best of his era, only probably surpassed by Andruw Jones. Like, he was an absolute stud in center field. He was great. And I'm really, really excited about this card, but not as excited about this card as I am our number 1, which is Roberto Alomar. And this card specifically. This card, I love it. The 88. Go, Roberto. Yay. Nah, I'm just kidding. The reason I'm so excited about Roberto Alomar, it's a couple things. One, he's a second baseman, and second base is thin as shit. It is not a deep position. It's not a position where it's easy to find guys to fill. This year, I put my creative player at second base just because the only, great one to me was, the flashback Robinson Cano, and even he really wasn't all that good. I guess Utley was kind of good, too. I wasn't a big fan of Pedroia. I hate Altuve because of how short he is, and he doesn't have a lot of pop. But second base, just overall, is pretty not a very deep position. So Roberto Alomar is going to change that, though, pretty much by himself. Because Roberto Alomar, this isn't the card. The rookie card isn't going to be the one that you want. Unless it's a mission starter. The one that you're going to want is the 1999 Cleveland Indians, Roberto Alomar. Let me just rattle off some stuff for you here. The guy hit 323, 422 on base percentage, 533 slugging for a 955 OPS and a 140 OPS plus. He hit 24 home runs. He stole 37 bases and was only caught 6 times. So really, really high speed, really, really high stealing. He only struck out 96 times, and well, that's not super good, but it's good. It's good. In 694 plate appearances, he had 99 walks. He won the Gold Glove, was selected to an All-Star game. He won the Silver Slugger. This guy was the total package. This guy is going to have 90-plus contact easily versus both sides. He's a switch hitter, too, which makes, like I said for Jorge, it's a huge thing. He's going to be 90-plus from both sides of the plate with contact. He's going to be 70-plus both sides of the plate when it comes to power. Maybe even 75-plus. He's going to be probably 80-plus when it comes to vision. Discipline is going to be probably 75 plus. His fielding is, this was like his millionth Gold Glove, so he's probably going to be like 90 fielding, 90. He's going to be amazing in the field. He's probably going to have like 92 speed with 98 stealing. So he's going to have the speed. This card is going to be a 5-tool monster. I say this all the time. With all that being said, I will, but first, please like and subscribe and follow me on Twitter and retweet, and I'll give you a sweet Eric Hosmer jersey if I draw your name whenever I hit 1,000 subs. It's going to be dope as fuck. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe later today. I don't know how busy I'm going to get or whatever, but I love you guys. Peace.